So, this one is pretty different from your typical Wimpy Kid story. You're about to find out why. Welcome back to Inside the Mind of Greg Heffley, the series where you realize you probably shouldn't think of this kid as a role model. This time around is Diper Overlode, the first book centering around Rodrick in about 14 years. Been a while. This cover immediately sets itself aside from the rest of the series. Instead of the usual frown, Greg points his finger in the air as he rocks out, quite literally vibing. Now open the book and we're instantly greeted with regret from the Wimpy Kid himself. Over the years, becoming rich and famous was one of his end goals. That's just who he is. However, now he second guesses himself after realizing he would lose privacy in his daily life. Greg is obsessed with material objects like mansions and expensive cars, but he doesn't want to deal with the consequences of being a star. Then, in classic Greg Heffley fashion, we get to see his true colors. That's why it would be awesome to be friends with someone who's famous. Then you'd get all the perks of being a celebrity without any of the negatives. Greg imagines a scenario where his best friend Rowley has to deal with all the downsides, while he himself lives in luxury. He steals rich Rowley's money, leaks drama if things go south with the friendship, and takes advantage of this celebrity status. No matter what, Greg doesn't care if others suffer as long as he's getting treated well. This hypothetical scenario leads to the core story of Diper Overlode, Rodrick's band trying to make it to the top. Greg would love to be related to someone who's famous so he could take all the perks. As the pages go on, we gradually watch Loded Diper's rise to glory. They think of strategies to become famous and win a Battle of the Bands competition. In the entire Wimpy Kid series, this may be the #1 most focused storyline. There aren't as many tangents as usual. Almost every page in some way moves the band forward in their journey. That's cool and all, but it also makes things harder to analyze for Greg. Because a bunch of the events center around Rodrick and his friends, Greg acts as an outsider. About halfway in though, he gets directly involved with helping out. Rodrick said they couldn't pay me anything, but the experience would look great on my resume. I don't know what kind of employer would be impressed that I worked for a band with the word diaper in its name though, but I figure taking the job will make my Loaded Diper tell-all book a lot more interesting. So really, I'm just in this for the dirt. Once again, Greg lacks empathy. Instead of doing this out of the kindness of his heart, he has an ulterior motive, because of course he does. If Loaded Diper somehow gets famous, he'll be able to share the benefits of that. If not, which is much more likely, then he plans this book to tell all the harsh stories about what happened. He wants money, and he'll throw anyone under the bus if it benefits him in the end. Fast forward to the final batch of pages in Diper Overload, and the situation leads to Greg needing to be a part of the band. It's a long story. He tries to escape, but Rodrick stops him. Battle for the Band's day is here, and in a rare sign of compassion, Greg decides against running away. I thought about making a run for it to save myself the embarrassment of having to perform, but at that point, it didn't seem right to ditch Rodrick. Okay, so he's not all terrible. Finishing Diper Overload, I was pretty satisfied. It may not have offered as much to analyze with Greg, but it felt like a breath of fresh air. This, along with Big Shot, feels like it's taking Diary of Wimpy Kid in a more focused direction. They're both unique storylines that stick with one idea and go with it. Now, we can only hope Rodrick gets his own journal. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below to let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.